the face, the only face, the real face of women's basketball, period. She did it again, Caitlin Clark, shattering records, creating new viewership records for USA Sports. She did it again. Y'all keep running around trying to pretend like this person.
The executive boardrooms at WNBA headquarters have reportedly descended into complete, unmitigated chaos, with league officials scrambling in what appears to be a full-blown emergency tonight. In an unprecedented power move that sent shockwaves throughout the sports world, Caitlin Clark delivered a ruthless, no-nonsense ultimatum directly to the league's front office gatekeepers. Fresh off breaking yet another historic record and earning Player of the Week honors, Clark didn't simply celebrate her remarkable personal achievement. Instead, she turned her attention toward league leadership, demanding the immediate reinstatement of Sophie Cunningham following her shocking union ban. She also made it crystal clear that if the situation isn't resolved immediately, she could walk away, potentially taking millions of viewers with her. To truly understand the level of panic reportedly gripping network executives and administrative committees, you have to examine the controversial politics that allegedly triggered this explosive showdown in the first place. Sophie Cunningham, one of the most authentic, hard-nosed, and fan-favorite personalities in modern women's basketball, was hit with a baffling and heavy-handed union restriction that left countless fans furious. Rather than rewarding genuine merit and on-court toughness, league officials allegedly chose to engage in behind-the-scenes politics, sidelining Cunningham while assuming the public wouldn't notice. But they made one massive, potentially fatal mistake. They completely underestimated Caitlin Clark's loyalty to authenticity.
50 years of sports business, Darren Rovell is telling the truth. Leagues and unions have been long forbidden using derogatory NIL. The most popular NBA student example of this is a Reggie Miller choke and crotch grab. There she is, Helen of Troy. There she is, Helen of Troy, Sophie Cunningham herself. They generally do not know how to run a marketing campaign. Folks, when I first saw this, I was like, dude, who is this troll? Who is this troll? But then I looked at the source and I was like, oh, this is a real source. This isn't some joke.
Clark didn't send a courteous email or release some carefully sanitized corporate statement through a public relations team. Instead, she stepped directly into the spotlight, metaphorically slammed her hand on the table, and delivered words that could echo through sports history forever. Bring Sophie back and lift the ban, or you're going to destroy yourselves. Every word coming from Clark carried millions of dollars in potential broadcast value. She openly called out the gatekeepers for undermining their own platform, making it clear to the entire world that she would not sit back and watch the league mistreat genuine stars who helped build the game alongside her. The financial situation now facing the league is reportedly a frightening nightmare for network sponsors. Whenever Caitlin Clark takes the court, broadcast numbers surge to remarkable levels, attracting well over 1.4 million dedicated viewers on many nights who tune in specifically to watch her play. But without Clark, those impressive broadcast figures could disappear almost instantly.
Right here, Sophie Cunningham. So that takes us back to Darren Rovell. The WNBA Players Association is currently prohibiting licensees from using the Sophie Cunningham point, saying that it is, quote, derogatory. What? What? That is absurd. And if I was Sophie Cunningham, I would be kicking and screaming. What? I saw this and was like, oh, this league is ate up with the perpetually offended. The most viral moment of the year can't get licenses because you got players that were offended by it. Remember all the people online? Oh, that's so disrespectful to black.
By threatening to withdraw her star power in support of Sophie Cunningham, Clark effectively placed the entire financial engine of the sport in her hands. In a single moment, she appeared to prove that those 1.4 million viewers aren't necessarily loyal to the league's corporate brand. They're tuning in because of her. Behind closed doors at league headquarters, high-level meetings have reportedly spiraled into heated arguments, finger-pointing, and growing confusion. Network producers who had already sold millions of dollars in primetime advertising packages are allegedly making urgent calls to league executives, demanding answers. How do you explain to global sponsors that your biggest superstar is threatening to walk away over what she considers an unjust player ban? The league officials who spent years exercising administrative authority over athletes are suddenly discovering that their options may be extremely limited. They now face a difficult choice: respond to Clark's demands or risk watching their entire business operation unravel under the intense glare of national television.
That's really the question. Like, is Caitlyn going to be your superstar? And your Batman, and Kelsey, you're Robin.
The fact that this even has to be a conversation is why this thing needs to be split apart. The Indiana Fever, when Caitlyn and Kelsey play, yes, they're effective because they're both really, really great basketball players. I mean, well, Kelsey, she could score. She don't do nothing else, but she could score the hell out the basketball. But the fact that there's no pecking order established, it's like a free-for-all, that is the problem. That's the problem. The Dallas Wings established a pecking order. The Las Vegas Aces established a pecking order. The Liberty established a pecking order. Like all these other superstars, or not other stars, because they're not superstars because people don't really watch them. But all of the other great players, LA Sparks, Kelsey Plum, there's a pecking order. The Indiana Fever is the only place where there's no real pecking order, and that's the problem.
When last year, when Caitlyn was out, then you relied heavily on Kelsey. And you guys were one game away from making it to the finals, right? So
Across team facilities throughout the country, players are reportedly watching this dramatic showdown with complete amazement. For decades, traditional league structures pressured athletes to stay silent, accept questionable administrative decisions, and follow corporate agendas out of fear. But Caitlin Clark's forceful support for Sophie Cunningham has seemingly shattered those old expectations. The culture inside locker rooms may never be the same again. Players across the sport are realizing that when elite talent challenges behind-the-scenes politics and perceived favoritism, corporate officials may have far less control than they once believed. Mainstream sports commentators, who have often defended league policies, are now being forced to address the controversy live on air. Analysts who spent months arguing that Clark's enormous cultural impact was simply part of normal league growth are now being confronted by the reality of her influence. The moment Clark publicly raised her voice in support of Cunningham, social media reportedly exploded into a massive digital battle. Millions of fans poured into comment sections, turned against official network pages, and rallied behind Clark's ultimatum with unwavering support.
Time she sets foot on the court whilst shattering viewership records. That's Caitlin Clark for you, the face of the league. Yeah, look, Aces, oh man, maybe it was Ace's son. I thought it was Aces Sparks. Ace's son USA 343,000. Wow, I thought it was Aces Sparks. Maybe they just don't have the Aces Sparks on this list, but damn, that's bad news bears. That's bad. The three highest rated games on USA: Fever Sparks, Fever Tempo, Fever Sparks. Oh, one common denominator to certain somebody's team. Is it not? Is it not Jamel Hill? Let's get into the player of the week, shall we? Your AP player of the week, Caitlin Clark. Many people reported on this yesterday. Many people talked about this yesterday. Congratulations to Caitlin Clark, player of the week, well deserved. Getting player of the week while on minutes restriction is wild work. It's crazy. Absolutely insanity. Caitlin Clark by herself is must-see TV. She is amazing and the only person I have to drop everything I'm doing to watch her play. WNBA candidate.
This isn't simply about one player ban or 1 week of basketball. It represents a much deeper change in the way modern media organizations operate. For years, executive boards believed they could control the narrative, hide behind selective policies, and determine who received attention and who was pushed into silence. But genuine, generational superstardom cannot always be managed by a committee. Clark's influence comes from raw passion, massive popularity, and genuine solidarity with her fellow players. When she speaks, millions of people pay attention and react alongside her, leaving traditional gatekeepers struggling to maintain control. Major corporate sponsors are now reportedly putting intense pressure on league officials to resolve the situation as quickly as possible. Multi-million-dollar sponsorship agreements could be at risk as corporate lawyers examine the potential consequences of a Clark boycott. Corporate executives aren't primarily concerned with internal union disputes or administrative pride. They care about television audiences, brand reputation, and public support. Right now, that public support is portrayed as being firmly behind Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. leaving league officials in an increasingly difficult position with very little room to maneuver.
Shooters in the entire WNBA: Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell, and we have Caitlin Clark. There wasn't a picking the best, the most popular player, but clear anti-fever agenda. Now, I believe they might have tweeted this before news came out that Caitlin Clark actually declined that, but I don't know if Sophie would have turned it down. Now, we don't know if they invited Sophie, but I'm pretty sure Sophie is definitely going to respond to this. You know what I'm saying? I do know Sophie do respond to people. If we like add her a bunch of times on Twitter, try to see why, like, got to be something we could do. Sophie Cunningham as of right now is 43%, Aaliyah Boston 46%, Kelsey Mitchell 42%. Wow, bro. So technically, Aaliyah Boston is the best 3-point shooter right now in the whole W. Wow, bro. Where is AZ Flood at? Wow. It's definitely going to be a boring 3-point contest, but I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section right now. Make sure you guys keep them bills on. I will be back.
The public reaction to this explosive ultimatum has grown into an unstoppable cultural movement. Fan groups across major social platforms have reportedly begun organizing large-scale viewing boycotts, promising to switch off their televisions the moment any game airs without Clark or Cunningham. The message from the audience is loud and unmistakable. Sports fans want fairness, respect, and genuine competition. They are willing to let league ratings collapse if executives refuse to do what they believe is right. The line has been drawn, and there may be no turning back for the front office. League officials can attempt to reshape the narrative, issue damage control statements, or hide behind complicated legal language, but supporters believe the public can see through it all. Caitlin Clark has now used her enormous, record-breaking platform to stand up for her fellow players, challenge the league's corporate structure, and demonstrate, in the eyes of her supporters, that genuine greatness can overcome administrative pressure.
Out of our group, and obviously a lot of people stepped up in AB's absence, and obviously KK, was incredible tonight too. You
said you could tell before the game started. Was there a moment or point in time where that happened? A specific thing happened? How did that feeling come for you?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you just have to believe you're going to have those type of nights, and you have to visualize having those type of nights, and I feel like that's what I did. And it's not always going to go your way. Sometimes there's going to be, a stretch where the ball's not going through the rim, and you can't get discouraged. And I know all the time in the work that I put in, and people believe in me, and more than anything, I believe in myself. And you just got to dig your feet in a little bit, and when it's not going your way, nobody cares. And find a way to make it better, and find a way to help your team win and make this team better. And I feel like that's what I always try to do.
Caitlin, can you take us through 102 tied up? Mm-hmm. You're kind of scrambling a little bit as the shot clock's kind of falling down. They got a deflection, circled back towards half court and kind of went up. Can you take us through that? I think that was your 41st point to kind of go ahead that whole play. Yeah, obviously we had the ball with the game tied, and they kind of blew up our ATO. Like, they played good defense and, got a good tip on the ball, and I was able to chase it down and then get the deflection, which I don't know if I got her on the arm or if it was clean, but I'm not sure the ref was in a position to make the call. I think it was pretty clean. I don't know, but just tried to make a good play on the ball, and then obviously coming back down, I was trying to get the ref to inbound it faster like I wanted.
What's your raw, unfiltered reaction to Caitlin Clark reportedly challenging the entire league in defense of Sophie Cunningham? Do you think this could be one of the biggest power moves in modern sports history, or did the league damage its own reputation by attempting to sideline a fan-favorite star in the first place? Share your honest thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a major conversation started. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe with all notifications turned on, and make sure you never miss another major update. Share this video with every true basketball fan who wants to know what's really happening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next explosive breakdown.